What's up, guys? My name is Jomel Socorro.
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabe Boo podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for lifeu. This is episode 25.
That it is, Jomel. That it is. 25 in the hole, ready to go.
We're a quarter away to episode 100, which...
There you go.
I mean, I don't know. I think we should do something. We should do something for.
We should definitely do something for 100.
For like the centennial episode.
Right.
Like.
We'll just suck each other off.
Yeah.
You just get to hear that.
Just.
Exactly.
just that, and I do not want to. I just licked my mic, and I don't know what that's gonna sound like.
Mm-hmm.
But be ready for that, because 100 is gonna be great. We could just do like we can just get hammered and just drink for that one podcast.
I guess we could just fucking get as drunk as possible
and just ramble on like a bunch of idiots.
I mean, that might be a longer episode because we might not know when to stop.
True, or I might forget to stop recording, and it'll just start. Well, it'll just keep going in. I'll just keep recording until my memory gets taken up.
Yeah, well, hopefully, it'll happen when it happens.
It'll happen when it happens.
Some will go down. Either we're drunk or maybe we'll go somewhere. Who knows? But
today is an important day because, Jarron, there's always, so you know how anime is like, anime started off in Japan-ish.
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Like anime itself.
Thanks to good old World War II.
And what do you think? What do you think of other mediums from the same medium from other countries?
Well, it's weird because it's so jarring to me to watch something that looks like anime in another language.
Why is that?
Like, I don't know. It's like I got so used to it.
You just got used to the language itself.
Just got used to.
Or the correlation.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's like I can watch anime in English. Like,
right.
I can I'm pretty sure I've said it before. There are animes that are good in English, no matter how much I will shit all over English dubs.
Mm-hmm.
But like, for example, like Baccano's great in English. Panty Stocking with Garter Belt, great in English. Inuyasha, good in English.
Hitalia
is great in English. Fucking Code Geass is good in English.
Death Note
is great in English. DBZ is good in English. It's actually bad in Japanese. That's my own thing because I can't deal with Goku. That's what it sounds like.
Like a canary.
What's good in English? Because obviously there's a trend of older anime being pretty good in English.
Like recently.
I guess within the last 5 years.
Recently in English.
Because I honestly, for the life of me, can't think of one. Granted, I haven't watched a lot of anime recently in English.
Yeah, that's okay. Maybe this is arguable, but I saw a little. Maybe Attack on Titan. It's got a pretty solid cast, and the acting is not too bad. Uh-huh. Like it really does. I think it's because it's like a shonen and like very action packed series, so it gets by with a lot of the acting.
Uh-huh.
It's not so melodramatic, nor is there like a lot of heartfelt emotion. Unlike, I know SEO had like its own English dub. That was a little bit weird, because they couldn't really capture at least they couldn't capture as much urgency they needed to, given the situation they were in. At least in the anime,
it's also really hard for like male characters are one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can fuck them up, but it's a little harder to. Because you just have to sound like a dude, but it's anime girls. That's where I usually get my problem from.
Yeah, well, I don't know,
because they try to match that energy that the Japanese do,
especially with like the moe type characters.
Oh my god, it's awful. It's so bad.
Like, again, Jarron, this might be a little bit arguable towards you, but like I didn't mind. I think her name is Chinatsu from Devil's a Part-Timer in English. I didn't really mind her as much because she was able to pull off the moe a little bit, even in English.
I remember watching the first episode of that in English, and I wanted to kill myself. Like, I was like, all right.
Was it that bad?
I was like, all right. Mal sounds great. What's his name? Azazel sounds great. Or good, because they got Azazel's like whininess down.
Right.
Like I appreciated them. Like, all right, that's good. It's good. Mal was fine. And then she showed up, and she opened her mouth. I'm like, kill me now. I just wanted to die right there. Like it grates on me because it sounds fake, you know.
Like it's
because like
it's fake moe.
It's fake moe. Like maybe you know again you know you've seen those memes around where it's like, oh, you know, fucking what am I saying?
What are you
I
saying?
don't know what
You're just making sounds now.
That's exactly. But those memes that say, oh, you only like Japanese subs because you can't tell whether or not it's good or bad acting.
No, I can tell good and bad Japanese acting.
We've seen bad Japanese acting.
Our very first podcast, I showed you some bad exactly. Japanese acting, which was horrendous.
It was awful.
Like overblown was it emotions, and then just weird pauses in the speaking roles.
Right, and then I've seen the opposite where it's not like over exaggerated, but it was underplayed.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't it. To be fair, it was the voice actress, one of the voice actors' first roles. But she was just so fucking monotone. Like it was that one anime, the quiz anime where they were like
keep going.
You know when it's one of those things, kind of like Jeopardy, where you answer a bunch of questions and you have to hit the button first and answer it correctly. It was literally an entire like quote unquote sports anime wrapped around that.
I can't remember.
You don't remember? Well, it wasn't the most memorable anime, but like.
But I do remember this conversation we've had a while, like just in our private life.
Like everybody else was fine, but then listening to her, like it just didn't. She just sounded too normal.
Is that really a thing?
Is that a problem? I feel like that's a problem. But
like she sounds like a normal Japanese person.
We can't have that.
Like no, we need like we need like expressiveness.
Only they can overplay it, but English speakers have to stay where they are. Check your privilege.
I don't know. Again. Looking back in the old ones, looking back in the older series, they can just go back to what they were doing then.
But like, why is it so different now? I mean, I know I'm throwing you off of what you originally wanted to talk about, but like, it's just I've only really experienced like, you know, obviously the Japanese part of anime, and then there's what the English tried to do. You know, I don't want to say tried, but you know. The dubbing of things in English and like things like Avatar or Teen Titans, which borrowed the anime style. But then there's also like manhwas in Korea, or is that China?
Korean,
and then there's whatever you want to call it in China, and then there's the French one, Wakfu.
Oh yeah.
God, I tried to watch that. That felt so damn weird. Like, I love the French language, but like, it was.
But seeing it in animated form.
It was weird.
Omelette du fromage.
Oui, baguette. Like, I couldn't.
La Croix.
La Croix.
Stella
in La France.
Stella Artois. We're not sponsored by Stella Artois, by the way.
It was just strange. I should give Wakfu another chance because it's very beautifully animated. But like, I should give a lot of anime another chance, but it's just weird to listen to it in another language.
So I mean, is that related? So that's related to like your whole thing with not watching anything anime from a different country.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. It just kind of makes me uncomfortable.
Just literally because of the language barrier.
Yes,
it's just having experienced that different language. In that style,
it's like Japanese is my second language without me being able to read or write it.
That's such
write or speak in it.
That's the most weeb statement I've ever heard. Oh my god, Japanese is my second language without having to read, write, or understand. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? I want you to listen to yourself and say that again.
I'm just saying.
It's just as bad as me. It's just as bad as me saying that when I found my wife, I had to get to know her better. Right? That's.
Oh my god! I don't have any defense against it. It's just fucking. That's just how it is.
It's your second language, yeah. So it's fucking Croatian, but I can say that too. I don't read, write, nor speak, but it's my second language.
I'm sorry. That's fucking. Oh my god. But yeah, that's just me and my shitty self. How you doing? Fucking. Like I said, I don't have any defense against that. That's just. That's just how it is. It just feels. I'm just so comfortable with hearing the Japanese language that it feels like a second language without the details.
Exactly. But I mean, have you? I mean, we sort of tried because remember we recently saw like that first episode of To Be a Heroine,
right?
And it's on Crunchyroll too.
Right.
It's a weird one because it's a mix of Chinese and Japanese.
Yeah, let me give you a basic rundown of like how they do it. So like there's two worlds, it's split between two worlds, the real world and this weird baby clothes world. And in the real world, it's this Korean girl living through that.
No, Chinese girl.
Huh?
Chinese girl.
She's Chinese?
Yeah, it was Chinese. They were speaking Chinese. And,
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's Chinese girl. Living a very normal life. Her parents weren't great, but they weren't also the worst. She's just extremely normal,
right?
And she hated that. She was all this thing about choice and blah 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 whatever. And I forget the reason, she's brought to this other world where all of a sudden she's just speaking Japanese. Doesn't realize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and it's just kind of I don't want to say an abrupt change, but like she's speaking Korean. There's a scene.
Chinese.
Fuck. They're speaking Chinese. She's speaking Chinese. There's a pause in the scene. Something weird happens, and then all of a sudden she's speaking Japanese. I'm like, wait. Like I didn't catch it immediately. I'm like, wait, is that Japanese? Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a weird transition.
Right.
But weirdly enough, she'll monologue in Chinese.
Right.
Because in the end of the episode, she did end up monologuing in Chinese.
Right. And it's just, I guess they're just gonna be jumping back and forth between that, and it's just so weird.
Now, the only unfortunate thing is it doesn't update as regularly as like any normal anime, because I think it's probably done by a Chinese company.
Right.
And they just got like a partnership with Crunchyroll and was able to get it out on there. So right. It's pretty cool though.
It's like I said, it's a weird one.
It's a weird one, but it's like,
interesting.
It's an interesting concept because it's sort of like you combine like Kill la Kill and Fate with like
minus the sexy stuff.
Minus the sexy stuff.
Yeah, I guess yet to be seen.
And well, yeah, it's true because at least from the way the world is set up, the more clothes you have is determines your power level.
Or something like that, and
something
all
like
your
that.
Clothes, like you summon historical beings with your clothes. Like for example, the first villain they fought had a vest that turned into Hanzo Hattori, and he just always said, "Fucking, what was it? The best vests are made out of 100% cotton."
Exactly.
I'm like, okay.
It might as well just be a one giant clothing commercial.
Right. That's essentially what it is. And like she summoned some Chinese dude.
Because with her boots, like her boots turned, well, one of her boots turned into the actual swordsman, and then the other boot turned into the actual sword for the swordsman.
And imagine, she has something for a scarf, her school jacket, her shirt, skirt, but like your underwear is apparently your lifeblood, and if you use that, it'll be your most powerful weapon, but you'll die in the process.
Exactly. So it's like it's her last resort when it comes to your plan of attack, I guess.
Right.
I know it's really weird, but I mean I enjoyed it. It was just the whole language thing was really weird.
Yeah.
I mean I don't really mind Chinese. I mean, okay, frankly, I don't really mind any language in general, especially if it's like even like you said, Jarron, even in an anime or animated status. It's a at least when I watch something in a different language, it's a weird kind of refreshing experience because it's like it's sort of like when you witnessed anime the first time in Japanese. It's kind of like that. You're trying to like pick up on little things and try to like see how they're trying to correlate certain words with whatever they're trying to say, and then it's also a way to like listen to different, I guess, voice acting styles, because I know in a different language you'd have to like adjust your like vocal acting
right
in such a way, because like I mean English is hard enough to transcribe a Japanese originated scene. Well, okay, so it's hard to like having to transcribe an anime in Japanese to English is already hard enough as it is, because of like for one thing it's just the different cultural differences, but also like the Japanese, they've done it. They literally have a lot more training when it comes to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's a cool perspective to like take up on.
Mm-hmm. It's just I don't like. I can appreciate the different perspective because like hearing a different language in like in not on the screen, it feels good. Like it feels like
IRL.
Yeah, IRL. I was trying to avoid saying it in real life because I felt like that was gonna sound weird.
No. We've gone past we've crossed that threshold.
You're right. You're right.
You know,
so
long ago.
IRL, hearing a different language sounds fucking great. Like you hear, like I don't know. It's just it's pleasing to me. Like Russian, German, French, Spanish, all of them. Tagalog, which you and your parents speak, and the rest of the Filipinos and whoever.
I'm Filipino, by the way, if none of you know this. Yeah. And Dron's black.
Yep. We speak nig. We speak nig.
Yeah, the projects.
The project.
Well, you're sort of on like the nerdy side thing. So you're part of the science projects.
Right. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. The science projects. But it's just it's weird seeing it on screen or animated on screen versus in real life. But I have been looking to give it a try. I don't know.
Is it because it's styled like anime? Is that thing like
it's like you're used to hearing one thing and you want to hear it, but it's something else.
It's kind of like if you were watching a Disney film in like a different language. That would be weird because it's just the way visually it's styled and then the way it's originally brought up, like in English, for example.
Right. Speaking of, I recently watched a video of Jackie Chan singing the Mulan.
Oh yeah.
Make a
man out of you.
Make a man out of you.
That's a classic.
In Cantonese, like that was fucking great.
That's a classic. I'm surprised people are just finding it now. I remember finding that years ago. It was just great, just because I never knew Jackie Chan can sing.
Yeah, he was famous for his singing before he was a action star.
And Ip Man 4 was confirmed, and Ip Man's gonna be fighting Jackie Chan.
I shared that.
Then,
you bitch.
I'm just saying, if some people don't follow you,
don't
follow you on Facebook, but we gotta let them know Jackie Chan is gonna be fighting Ip Man, confirmed.
Ip Man.
So or IP Man. I mean,
I know.
They call him Ip Man.
They don't call him that in the movie.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
The Ip Man.
Ip Man, yeah. Or is it IP Man?
It's IP
Man. Is it IP Man? Oh, okay.
Ip.
It sounds Asian enough. Like,
it doesn't.
Ip Man.
Ip-san. No.
It's Chinese.
Or whatever the Chinese honorifics are.
Ip Man. Ah, yeah. I'm just being racist now.
Yeah. Fucking. And we weren't with the French.
What?
What?
What about the French?
La
Croix. No, that's the name of a drink.
Or whatever.
La Croix. If you want to be, that's the white way of saying it. La Croix. The little.
La Croix.
the shitty like sparkling water.
Uh-huh.
I think it's supposed to be La Croix. Yeah. But like it's spelled like CROIX. OIX. Yeah. So it's like La Croix. That's like the pronunciation, but like. Uncultured people call it La Croix. Or La Croix, like because of the I.
Look, I think they call it La Croix or something.
La Croix? La Croix?
I remember hearing someone talking about it, how bad it tastes.
I've had some. I tried using it as a way to like help me when it comes to like not drinking anything like sugary or shit like that. It's fucking terrible. Yeah. Do not. I even tried like they're like exclusive like flavored like cherry lime ones. I'm like, it's like it tastes like really bad bathwater, like sparkling bathwater.
Really bad bathwater. You right?
Because how like you get bath bombs have that in. It's like someone has like it's like the strawberry incense bath bombs, and you try drinking that. That's what happened. That's what it tastes like. It's just terrible. Even when it's cold, it's like fuck. I don't even want to remember that because it was that goddamn awful.
Well, it's probably just because it's like Americans trying to recreate whatever the French did.
Bathwater?
Yeah. See, French bathwater is much more refined.
I thought they don't take showers. That's why they invented perfume.
That's why it tastes good.
What?
No one's been in it.
So you fill the bathtub and you drink from it?
Yeah.
Okay. You right. You're right. You fucking right. Anyway, back to what we were originally supposed to be talking about. So there are a couple of shows that I'm watching right now. I mean, I don't know if this one counts. There's one on YouTube, called The Day Before. It's a Korean. Apparently it's a Korean anime. It's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes long. It's the one I showed you a couple like just a few episodes of, like the cool guy, doing all the shit. And...
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I'm used to watching K-dramas, but seeing
right.
but like it's like you said, seeing it animated is a weird transition because, at least with like Korean, if you're watching K-dramas, you can see their lips go in tangent with the words.
Right.
But then if you have it animated, you have the same rules applied to Japanese where it's not precise,
right.
but it's just enough mouth moving for it to transcribe into speaking.
Right.
So, and then just having to readjust that into the language you're listening to.
Right. It's like when you showed it to me, I'm like, all right, yeah, it sounds a little strange, it's Korean, but like, I can deal with it. But it almost feels like the acting tone is different.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it? So it's not just me.
The action tone is. I think it's because it's animated. Because like, Korea does better their live actions how Japan does with their animated stuff.
Right, because you've showed me a couple of K-dramas, and I'm like, yeah, I can feel the emotional range in how they speak, and like I can feel it. But then I watch a Korean anime, and it's just like, where did it go?
Yeah, it's true. I think because you can't see the visual.
Maybe that's
like the visual, like because, I mean, let's be honest here. Nothing, unless you're Disney, you can't. You're like no one else does like animated stuff as detailed as like Japan when it comes to their anime and stuff.
Yeah, well,
and also like visual emotions, because Disney does a really good job with their visual emotions
before they fucking like, we're gonna do 3D and like everyone's gonna love it. No,
I mean CG's though. I mean
it's not bad, but it's like it would be better. You fucking remember Mulan? Shit was gorgeous. You remember Aladdin? Beautiful.
That's true.
Fucking.
But that was like back in like the 90s and 80s.
Back when shit. Yeah, okay. I wasn't.
Back when Walt Disney.
Back when animation was cool.
Back when Walt Disney was still a racist.
Right.
We're about to get sued by Disney. A cease and desist letter is gonna come up in my fucking mailbox.
You right. We all know Walt Disney was secret Mecha Hitler.
Was it the Jew thing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, all you Jewish viewers, or listeners.
Walt Disney didn't like you.
Nah, but we do.
We do. We
love
you.
And that's okay.
As long as you're watching.
You and the gingers.
You and those gingers.
But no one else. But like, when it comes to like other animations, Japan's a pretty good. They do really well when it comes to their line work.
Yeah.
And visual representation of emotions and shit like that.
Though, I mean, I never want to say that America's lagging behind Japan in animation wise. Granted, Japan has its own style, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can agree with you saying that it's better per se.
Well, I mean,
it's just a different level of detail, I guess. Different world of detail.
I was trying to say that like they do just as good of a job as like America does with their own stuff. It's like all I'm saying is that Japan does just as good of a job with projecting emotion in their animated stuff just as well as America. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to like. I don't know if I was trying to say that, but I was trying to say they do a really good job.
Oh, if you mean emotional wise, I definitely give it to Japan because with their style of giving characters larger eyes, that means that you can fucking
like just focus on it.
You can because they're remember the whole reason that they gave characters bigger eyes outside of it being cuter is that bigger eyes means you can see more of their emotion because that's really usually where it starts.
Is that really the reason why?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's
I never knew that.
I watched some kind of documentary or maybe it wasn't a documentary. Maybe I read it in a book somewhere. But the reason why they do the big eyes is because originally it's to show a wider range of emotion because that's generally where people's emotion starts.
Oh, okay. I never knew that. I always thought it was a stylized choice. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's a strange thing to me too when I first read it. I mean, granted, don't quote me. Maybe I'm just fucking crazy and I just thought this up because like, yeah, that makes sense, But someone wants to fact check me because I don't feel like doing it. Go ahead and check that out. But I'm pretty sure that's the reason.
Okay.
And if you want to prove me wrong, this is your one chance to do it.
Yeah, your only shot.
Your only shot that I'm gonna give you. But yeah, that's the whole reason why. But in American cinema, I mean, I'm gonna again reference the old Disney movies. But like the one scene that I remember, like that had the most like emotional impact on me was in Mulan 2. Now, granted, I didn't like that movie as much. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Mulan 2
it's been
in
like
fucking 13, 14 years.
No, it's been like a couple of decades.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Like that was when I was like little.
Yeah. There's a scene where I think so at this point in time Mulan and Shen, the general, were getting married or about to marry or were already married or something like that. And they had to transport some princesses to do something. And there was a scene at a bridge and Shen fell off the edge of the bridge and Mulan had like grabbed his hand before he fell. And like she was trying to save him, but like Shen was saying, "Let me go because you have to go save the princesses so that China and some neighboring empire, I forget what it was at the time, could bring peace through marriage and whatnot." So like Shen let go of her hand, like you saw the fucking devastation in her face that was like as she watched him fall. I'm like, damn, I've never seen that level of detail in American anime.
American anime.
It was gonna happen eventually.
You're 2 for 2, Jarron.
Yep. Jesus. An American animation before until then, and I didn't watch Mulan 2 until like maybe junior year of college, which was like 3 or 4 years ago now. Maybe it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah, rough. Yeah.
So maybe I'm a little late to the game, and I mean, obviously, I've seen things like Young Justice. I've watched the old cartoons. All right, now the old cartoons don't count because they had such a fluidity of everything that emotion was not hard to get across. Like the old Bugs Bunny. And
you mean like the 30s?
The 30s, back then,
like
where
back
they were
then?
they had the freedom to draw big stuff. Like they want their characters to fucking bend themselves wherever.
Like 1920s Betty Boop and all that.
Not necessarily Betty Boop. Just like after that nice golden age of like Looney Tunes.
Oh, okay. So like after that era then.
Yeah, after
Cuphead era. After the Cuphead era, after like the Cuphead style era.
Yeah. It's when you knew when someone was sad because their whole face would contort to show that they're sad.
Yeah,
instead of trying to maintain this new
humanistic
like limitation where they can only do the facial features and not just like they're literally like whole head would turn into a frown to show that they're sad or like they would cry literal fucking waterfalls or whatever. Like back then, like you can show emotion, but I'm talking in the most recent animation age for America. It's like they've limited themselves to this humanistic idea that I feel like lost some emotional, like
they lost their charm,
emotional charm. Or at least that's how I feel. That's why I was saying, I mean, even with older Disney shows, Disney movies, when they were 2D,
right?
I mean, they got emotion across, but it wasn't as big as it was until I saw that scene in Mulan 2.
Mm-hmm. How about like the newer like 3D animated movies like Up or like Frozen or Moana or there was one more.
See, here's the thing with that. Now
Coco.
that I was
Coco. Yeah.
Now that I've noticed how I said they made bigger eyes
mm-hmm.
and generally bigger heads in anime.
Yeah.
To show more emotion. They kind of copied that with Disney because notice all the 3D models have larger heads and larger eyes.
True.
Yeah.
True. It's not as
humanistic
anymore. Like there's like the proportions have changed over time.
Proportions have changed, so like that way they can show a wider range of emotions, and it does a job. You can see it better.
But it just proves the point of
it
proves the point what you're trying to say when it comes to like a different country's style influencing or style being preferred when it comes to certain artistic approaches.
Right, and it's actually kind of cute because so the first animators in Japan got inspiration for doing any of their work from Walt Disney.
Oh, okay.
So
it's a back and forth.
Circle, yeah.
It's just a giant back and forth, just sharing ideas. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Besides the whole Jew hating thing, but it's pretty cool. Like Astro Boy and all that.
Astro Boy was influenced by early. I think there was a specific one, but I don't remember. But they saw the original Mickey Mouse cartoons. And they said, all right, we want to borrow that and make, these... Because, again, before Astro Boy and stuff like that, it was all essentially World War II propaganda or, like, very short, like, clips of, like...
Like live action stuff or something?
Not live action, but, like short, like, almost animated comic strips.
Oh, okay.
Like, I did not a report, but I had to do a presentation to an American Asian Association thing.
Okay. About
anime and stuff. And there was one that I remember. It was just like real simple little cartoon about a samurai. He was buying a sword from some peddler, and the sword was shitty, and he got angry at the peddler, and it was just kind of a little hijinks around that.
Okay.
And it wasn't like nothing too big, nothing too like exciting, but it was just like a little comic. But that was kind of almost a limitation of the style at the time. But then this is a little bit. It was either during World War II or just a little bit before. But then World War II hit. Disney was still doing, Mickey Mouse and, their animals and stuff like that, and like Goofy, Donald, and then that whole universe. So some animators borrowed from that, and that's where you get like Momotaro, I think. It was like they were like these weird like animal people that went to war essentially, and that was partially propaganda, partially borrowing from Disney. And then after
didn't Disney also do propaganda against the Japanese during that era as well?
Yeah, everyone did propaganda, but like Disney was also doing Mickey Mouse and shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, they also use Mickey Mouse for propaganda, but
point that there's a back and forth.
Point there's a back and forth.
Now the better question is hentai. Like not just the origin, but like first for the first shitty animation of like hentai.
Someone got curious.
Somebody got curious.
We I don't know.
Yeah, they are desperate because like the reason why I'm saying desperate is because they probably didn't have any material, so they drew it up as a compensation for that.
If you want to go deep with this, like the first quote unquote hentai. Well, I mean, there's always been Japanese porn.
Well, like
drawn.
The written material, but I'm talking about like animation, like like on the screen, like dicks out for Harambe.
I could not tell you. I didn't do a presentation on that yet, so I don't know.
You should when you go down in Alabama. You should like introduce yourself with like a presentation on porn.
Yeah, you're right. That'll be the fucking best thing. First impressions, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a world an Aihigo hoodie.
Right.
You know, I got that as a present.
Yeah, I saw. You showed me. Or no, Matthias showed me his.
Yeah, he got me that as a present. So we're gonna be rocking the Aihigo hoodie squad.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna try to find some matching sweatpants. So I'm gonna be a walking degenerate.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you'll be. I mean, I want to say obviously, I don't know, but it's easy to assume that the first hentai was just vanilla as fuck, and then
in Japan probably,
and then people started being like, hey,
and then you have Shadman coming out.
We can do some. Remember that back and forth?
Yeah.
Hentai started, and then American artists were like, let me mess around with this a little
exactly
bit.
Like porn in a different dimension.
Impossible.
It can't be done. And then Shadman's like, or is it Shadman or
Shadman?
Shadman, and he was like, "Hello there." You could get giving the old like Obi-Wan.
He's fucking
the good old Obi-Wan look, like, Hello there. Care for a look?
I mean, it was around before Shadman started his art, but like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm
it's
just
just a modern idea of it. It's just his art, quote unquote.
It is art.
It's art.
Porn is an art. If drawn porn is an art.
Not legally.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Legally, porn is not art.
What?
It's not.
It is art. Art is push art. What art is? It pushes the boundaries, and that may include laws.
You're right.
I mean, if you weren't pushing any boundaries, then you wouldn't have the art you have today.
Right.
You wouldn't have your wholesome, wholehearted art goodness.
You know the same people that say that are the same people that fucking murder people and use their blood as paint. It's pushing.
It is pushing the boundaries. It is
boundary.
pushing the boundaries. I mean, shit. I mean, the only thing I can come up with right now is like you wouldn't have cells at work if you didn't push the boundaries.
This came from Osmosis Jones.
You wouldn't have Osmosis Jones if you didn't push the boundaries either.
You're right.
You're pushing the boundaries even more. You had Osmosis Jones, then you Japanize it. Yeah, Japanize it, then you lullify it.
Lullify?
The platelets.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
That was bound to happen.
That was yeah, but and then there's like the sub Cretan people that want to loot everything.
Are they really like the subgenre? I feel like they're just like hand in hand.
No, they're like
it's
they're
literally
like the dark order. They're like the Dark Order. Like
Order.
You know they're there, but they're not out and about in the world. They're just in the shadows. You know?
I don't know. I think I feel like they're like a shadow organization at the top with the tallest tower in the city.
Like everyone knows where they are.
You see it over there. You just kind of ignore it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. That's literally what it is. Like we know it's there. Exactly as you said. We know it's there. It's blatant.
I like to think that they're more of an underground society. No,
unfortunately not. Then we wouldn't have fucking legal issues with like fucking taking the lolly tag off fucking Hentai Haven. It's blatant. It is not hard to find.
No, someone's not doing their job. That's it. Someone's not doing their job right. It's either that or they're becoming too inclusive.
I mean, it's always been inclusive.
I mean,
it's like, hey, you like to fucking jerk off to this? Hey, me too.
Too much of a good thing is a bad thing, I guess.
Or too many bad things.
It's subjective.
I mean, it's like a cancer that kept growing until the point where it was visible.
I mean, I'm not agreeing with the loli type. I'm just agreeing with everything else.
Right.
Part of that genre, but it's subjective. It's all subjective. You know. I still don't agree with getting rid of it, but you know, it's
because it's an art form.
It's still an art. It's still an art.
Yes.
I don't want to get political in all this, but it really is. It's censorship, and there's some there's some liberties taken away from here.
I mean, yeah.
Like what's next? Shota? What's next?
Probably.
The tentacle? What's next?
Well, see.
Because you know what, Jarron? Because that's abusive towards like octopi and other kind of like.
No, the main thing you're missing here is that the like fucking 75% of it's rape.
That too. That's also bad. Rape is bad.
But again, since it's saturated the tentacle market, you're just kind of like, well.
Well, there's also another thing too. It's not real.
Right? Yeah, it's not
literally,
real.
it's pages in a book and images on a screen.
Yeah, but we've argued this already.
We have argued this. Our community has won slightly with Steam doing their comeback.
Right.
You know, I can only hope the rest of the community with the rest of the industry will actually start.
I feel like the industry will be fine, but everyone that's not in the industry. Wait.
Well, that's part of the industry, like the doujinshi artists, all the independent artists.
Like the people that like. So there's the industry. There's this. Let's look at a spider web here. So maybe not a spider web, but like a branch out. So there's. Let's say your shit starts in hentai.
Okay.
And then people are like, all right, well, I want to make a hentai game.
Okay.
Or, you know, something animated. And you got those two, and those branch out to, hey, I want to make a hentai game. Let's just make a sexual game. without the hentai part, and it's you get your honey pops and you get your
okay, like it's very ecchi.
You get your very ecchi stuff, and that branches out like let's just have like adult themes in our games, not necessarily the whole point of it being. And then that's when you branch out to the regular people, like, oh, let's look at this. It's just a regular game about regular people. Oh, hey, look at this game. It's got adult themes. I'm interested. Oh, hey, look, a game about sexy stuff. Oh, hey, look, fucking hentai games.
Where are you getting at?
I don't remember. Wait, no.
It's okay. Give yourself some time.
Give me a minute.
You were on a roll. Like
I was on a roll.
Like you had a.
It was about. Oh, my point was that it's the industry branches out to the normal people.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a hole, like a cone.
So it's a way in.
It comes out and it'll just eventually spread out, or maybe not a cone going down, but
so you're saying that
a shape where something comes out of the middle and it ends up at the end.
Right.
A spiral. There we go.
So like
or a reverse spiral.
So is the point is that hentai has its place.
Hentai is a place, but it is connected to the vanilla space, and you can trace the vanilla space to hentai in some way.
Okay.
So
now what's the ultimatum for all this?
The reason that what I'm saying is that it's hard to hide it away.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be under scrutiny, especially nowadays because it's even bigger.
Yeah.
And it connects faster.
Literally, it's one click away.
It's I could type in one word and be at a hentai site. Like it's awful.
the power of the internet.
Right.
We've desecrated a beautiful thing.
And it partially literally started through. Partially literally, it has a very neat origin point at the idea around Rule 34.
This is true, and that's already a culture in of itself.
Right. It's like an immediate link between, like it's almost a direct arc from anything vanilla to the hentai space.
Exactly. That's like the door. That's your walk-in right there. Right. Your gateway. That's your gateway towards it.
Before you have to kind of navigate around. Now it's just fucking there.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So it's just kind of hard to stay away from it.
Yeah.
That's why it's always going to be under scrutiny. So like you said, people are eventually going to be like, well, tentacles are fucking weird, but it's not just about the tentacles, it's the whole rape aspect, which is like, well, we can't have that, and then that's going to go. And then tentacles will be like, well, we're going to try to do all the consentacles that we can. I mean, I'm not saying it'd be hard to.
But again, are we? But is the conversation not going to go back to the fact that none of this is real?
I mean, obviously it is. I mean, that's the main argument against it, that it's not real.
Like, there's no actual beings harmed, or animals or anything else being harmed within these confined pages or digital artworks.
Right, and if you're the kind of person that sees it and we're like, well, I'm going to do that, then you're an idiot.
Exactly.
And you're probably already going to do it regardless.
Exactly.
So,
but speaking of hentai, I'm sorry.
Were we talking about voices?
Yeah, no, yeah. But speaking of hentai, don't worry.
That's right.
This is related. Well, we already know porn in general has terrible voice acting, or acting in general. But
it's it's even more so when they take fucking Japanese hentai and make it English.
Yes.
Like, why the fuck did you do that? Why?
Because people don't like reading subs while they're jerking off.
You're right. They don't want.
They don't need it. They don't need a middleman.
You don't need the story. You don't. It's like, look, what is the story of Bible Black? Like, it's fucking.
I still haven't watched Bible Black.
I mean,
I know
there's
granted there's
cults. There's girls with dicks, and lots of sex and monsters sometimes.
So and what's the point trying to get at here
There's no story. It's just a setting.
Well, you just need good quality moaning, Jarron.
You're right. That's all you need.
Like,
that's literally all you need.
Like, think of the greatest voice actors you know in Japan. Most of them probably started off as like doing hentai or.
You want to check
hentai
did your girl start off in hentai?
I kind of.
Yeah.
I let me look that up right now.
You're gonna immediately watch that anime.
No, I'm not gonna watch any for work.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
You know you are.
If I were, I already, you can already get a good taste of it from her playing as Darkness from Konosuba.
Right, you're right. She is her voice actor. I forgot.
Yeah. she does a good job doing that as it is.
So I mean, that might have just been prior experience. You never know.
But my point is, did I have a point? No, the hentai doesn't have a point.
It doesn't. It's just I wanna rip my dick apart. That's all it is.
No, but there are some good quality hentai with some pretty good voice acting, regardless of like a weird or shitty story.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Like this is a bad one, but it's good. It's Ultimate Midori. It's a really I stopped midway just because I wanted to see how the story was gonna play out. I was so invested in the story, like man.
Next thing you're gonna say fucking when they finally make a hentai version of fucking
what?
Fuck, I literally forgot the name. It starts with an E. Everyone hates it. Hate loves it. It's the one that's Emergence.
Oh, yeah.
No.
See, no, that's a different breed of reader. That's for a different breed of our.
Yeah, the fucking pieces of shit.
Like Matthias. Matthias enjoys that.
Yeah, because he's a fuck. That's why.
Like he has an Emergence T-shirt. Like he got it from Asen.
I enjoy the meme. That's about as far as I'll go with that fucking thing. Fuck you, Shindal. Fuck you and your art. It's beautiful, but you and your writing, I hate you. Just make things look pretty. Just don't do anything else. No one needs to be sad. But like, it's just I don't
Okay, no, she didn't start out in hentai.
What'd she start off with?
She started out with it's an original anime called Princess Resurrection. Are you familiar with
I think I am.
Yeah, that was her first role in an anime series. I don't know what role it was, but that was her first role.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I remember this. I love this. I loved this anime. I loved it so much.
Well, there you go. She started out in.
Who'd she play as? Was she the princess?
Shit. I mean, let me see.
I fucking loved this.
Let me see. Try to see if if you can look it up on your thing. Cause I'm also doing it at the same time.
I'm on Wikipedia.
No.
So. Oh shit! They don't have They have to have the characters. Nope. I need to go to fucking
anime list.
Yep.
This is kind of funny. Kaino-san wanted to work at a job that involved healing people. And so she initially wanted to like work in the beauty industry, but she became interested in anime after she watched Aria.
Aria was good.
So from there she wanted to be a voice actor.
That's pretty cute.
And in a way, I mean, her voice is very healing. Like I'm a big fan of her.
Who the fuck did she play? Like she's not even on the. Wait, this might be one of the spinoffs. Hold on. We're getting to the bottom of this.
It's the 2010 version. It's the one in 2010. That's.
Oh, okay. This is the 2007 version.
So that's when she first debuted in 2010.
This is the 2006 version. I don't fucking.
As you would like to know, Jarron, she also played Menma from Anohara.
I didn't watch it. I didn't finish Anohara.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
Yeah,
What's wrong with
handle it?
What's wrong with you, Jarron?
That was after I said no more sad anime.
Oh, was that what?
That was.
Wait, what were you watching after that? Before that,
Clannad and fucking Angel Beats.
Oh my god,
no more.
That's because you're going in three different series, 3 series in a row.
Yeah, it was hard.
Why? You break it up with like weird shit, like psychological or action.
Of course I had those buffers. Like outside of having to watch Clannad 7,000 fucking times, I've watched Angel Beats twice.
Okay.
And then my friends tried to get me to watch Anohana, and like, is like I don't know what the plot ends with, but like it was getting to the point where like I can't do this anymore. Like this is hard.
And she even sang like
the opening, right?
No, she sang the Secret Base song, like the main theme of the series, the one where everyone cried in.
Well, I didn't see that part, so.
We Jarron, before you leave, we got to finish on.
No.
Jarron, I am willing to go through the heartache again, just for you. I am willing to go through it. I didn't cry, but I was holding back so much when I first watched it, because it was like, oh man, like it wasn't as bad. Like it's not as bad as Clannad, where Clannad was more of a like it was a searing burn, where Anohana kind of just like smacks you in the face with it at a certain point.
How do you spell Kayano's name?
I as in love, I, and then Kayano, Kayano.
There you are. Let me see. What'd you do? I'll probably recognize the character. Oh, she was in Bento. She was Shiramune Ume. That's cool. She was in Code Geass, Dead Man Wonderland.
Wait, who's she playing Go Geass?
Clement Anna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
She was in Fairy Tail.
Oh, I think I know. Yeah, I think someone told me about
Kyoka?
that.
Something like that. She was in Flip Flapper. She was Mimi? She was in Freezing. She's the main character.
Oh, yeah, she is the main character from Freezing. Does a great job.
Oh, my God. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
I mean, she has quite a range.
Yeah, she does.
I can commend her for that.
Where the fuck is it?
I mostly like her for her Kudere style characters, like Inori from Code Geass, Mashiro from Sakura-so, and Shiro from No Game No Life.
Mm-hmm. She was Shiro?
She was Shiro, yeah.
I can't fucking find her.
I mean, there was a bit of a joke where, like, you know how Sora and Shiro are the same voice actors from Sorata and Mashiro from Sakura-so?
Yeah.
There was a bit of like a plan, like a joke that though they're exactly the same voice actors, and they're essentially the same characters, and they just removed a couple characters.
You're right.
Instead of like Sorata, it's Sora, and then instead of Mashiro, it's just Shiro, and the exact same voice actors.
It's easy to just makes it easy. She's done so much shit. It's actually hard to find this fucking anime.
She's done a lot of shit in 8 years.
Yeah, well, all right. She played a character in the anime. I don't fucking feel like looking anymore.
I mean, that was her very first role, so I would imagine it'd be like a bit of an archive to look through it.
Yeah, she's got a lot here. Like, goddamn.
I mean, you know that she plays Yamagami from Service X Servant. Big Boob Chan. Lucy.
The Kudere.
No. She's the one. She's the one that wears big boob. She's the one with big boobs, black turtleneck.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Lucy.
Right, main character girl.
Yeah.
Main Chan.
And yeah, she did sing the opening to that as well, along with the other voice actresses.
I need to watch that again. Like I fucking, as much as I love the opening, I also just love the anime.
I mean, it's our fucking podcast opening,
right.
So it shows.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you have any? John never really asked, or I don't even know if you've looked into it, but like, do you have like a specific voice actor that you enjoy, like, having them get roles?
Tsundere Queen.
Oh, her.
Fucking love her so much. Like, she literally plays the exact same character in like 5 different anime, and I fucking love it.
Hold on, we gotta get that name for our listeners.
Let me see. She played Taiga in
Toradora. Another great series.
Another good series.
Everyone should watch. If you like your drama and romance.
Here we go. Her name is Kugimiya Rie.
Also known as the Tsundere Queen.
Otherwise known as the Tsundere Queen. From animes like
Toradora, like we said.
Toradora, fucking...
Did she play...
Astrid Omocha. No, Omocha.
Oh, I finished that series, actually, too.
That's another one that's probably that has a lot of problems.
I bet.
She played someone in Bleach? Well, I was trying to think of the ones that are, like, main. So is that one Familiar of Zero,
Hayate no Gotoku.
Hayate no Gotoku. There's a student council one. I don't remember what it's called.
Was it SYD? No,
No, it's not SYD.
I think it's this one at the top. It's Akanero ni Somaru Saka. Right, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to.
She plays Happy from Fairy Tail.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Well, I mean, I guess that doesn't help the whole Tsundere Queen thing. But she also has a very wide range of shit.
And recently, she also played the classical queen.
She did? Oh, right.
Yeah, remember we talked about it.
That.
She recently did play the classical queen, but not as the Tsundere character, unfortunately.
She is insanely popular. Like, I haven't... I just now got to the bottom.
Oh, did you?
That was just essentially holding the button down.
Oh. What the fuck?
She's got a lot. Oh
yeah.
my god. She was in the Idolmaster. She was in fucking Rosario Vampire.
Oh.
Like,
which
character? Arya, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah, she was Arya. She was Arya for that series.
Yeah, she was also one of the...
I mean, she's any twin-tailed tsundere character, honestly. Like short, flat-chested twin-tailed character.
She was, and from Tokyo Ghoul, the insane girl with the weird scythe thing.
Oh, that was a boy.
Our boy.
Is it?
I don't know.
What's his name? What's that?
Suzuya Juzo.
Yeah, Juzo. Yeah, isn't that a boy?
I don't fucking know.
I thought
question it anymore.
I thought Juzo's character was ambiguous because there was really no one really confirmed anything.
She played Malona in Queen's Blade.
Well, there we go.
She fucking played the acid slime girl. It's awesome. Oh my god.
Was there a reason why, John, you like the Tsundere Queen? Like, I've got my reason
for those tsundere roles.
Is it really just for the tsundere roles?
It's fun. Okay, granted, I don't like tsunderes that much as a character trope, but it's when she plays them, they're fun.
Like, is it because she's like? It's because it's almost like childish in a way, or like
it's just
like what is it? It's like it's entertaining in a way.
It's entertaining because I mean, yes, in the roles that she plays, she usually plays the worst types of tsunderes, which I don't like the
immature ones,
the immature, physically abusive ones. But like, it's because she has a extreme consistency between all of them.
That's true.
It's just like anytime you think about one of them, you think about all of them, and it's just funny to me. I don't know why, but she's probably the one that I will immediately recognize in some roles. I guess not in every role because she's been in a lot that I've watched but didn't realize.
Shana from Shakugan no Shana.
Shana from Shakugan.
Forget that's another iconic.
That's another main one. Yeah.
Another iconic character for her.
Fucking, she was in One Piece. Oh, never mind. She's a supporting character. Someone that didn't matter. I was about to say she was fucking. She was in No Game No Life. She was Tato. She's the god.
She's the god?
Yeah.
Oh, she's got quite a range then. Shit. Okay.
Huh.
A less tsundere role, but
yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. Shit.
Fuck. But yeah, like you said, she's got really all the main voice actors have a fucking huge list of shit that they've been in. It's honestly fucking just.
It's probably because of like this. It's probably because like they got like a they. For me, the reason why I stuck with is because of her, like I said, like her kudre roles. Like she defined that character type. Whereas like, what's her name again?
Rie Kugimiya.
Rie. She's well known for her tsundere roles.
Right. I
think the reason why they've become so popular is because they were able to essentially symbolize at least in early in their careers, be able to materialize as that specific character type in the beginning and the start of their career.
Right. I think that's really fucking awesome.
It's like their definite feature from when they first started out.
But to I guess pull it back to what our original conversation was about.
It's relatively related.
It's the fact that we can recognize these characters. I mean, granted, we're familiar with anime, and I guess the acting tone is just because they have specific acting tones, and as we now can see that they range because they've played a lot of different characters. It's maybe again, it's probably due to our inexperience, but when you go to a Chinese anime or Korean anime, and you hear the acting tone, and it's very kind of just one thing, and it rarely feels like it fluctuates.
Right.
Like maybe it's because of how used we are to the Japanese, but it just feels like
the training.
They don't have either as much training, or it's because I can't say this is a language that bars them, because you can make any language sound, however you're trying to make it sound.
Right.
It's just it feels like maybe they just don't have as much training as these other people do.
Yeah, exactly. Because like in Japan, voice acting is essentially like the U.S. is Hollywood. They put a lot of resources into voice acting vocational schools or just training in general. Like that's Japan's thing when it comes to in the entertainment industry. Like those voice acting itself is just as a important role in entertainment than like it is in Korean dramas with acting, or same thing with Hollywood in acting.
Right.
Because I know like you said, the reason why like watching a K-drama would be a little bit more comforting than watching a Korean anime is because at least in K-dramas they focus more on like acting,
right,
and like for like their live action shows and whatnot. So, and it clearly shows when you watch their stuff,
right,
and especially with and just like with anime, you can clearly hear like the difference in like proficiency and just how they were trained to portray these roles and these characters when they're speaking their lines.
Right. It's strange to me that they can't get, like, I mean, I guess, the money's an issue, that they can't get these people that are good at acting in one spot, but not translate, that doesn't necessarily translate to, like, voice acting. It's like, I know you have to change your voice depending on what character you're playing, but, like, I could see, like, what's a modern example? Like a Morgan Freeman voicing something animated. I could see that.
Or like,
but I don't know if that skill translates.
This would be a good example. Sam Jackson as Afro Samurai.
Yeah,
like that's the actual thing. That's the thing.
Right.
So
and or as Frozone.
Oh yeah, as Frozone.
Because like, I guess in that case it does translate, or maybe it's just because of his experience with the animated stuff. But like, it fits. It just like, when he voices these characters, you see them as the character. Like, you just what am I trying to say?
It's Frozone or Afro Samurai.
Frozone. He didn't voice Afro Samurai. He voiced the ninja guy.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Ninja, whatever the fuck his name is. But like, he's so good at just playing these characters that it's just like, it's crazy.
It must be like an experience thing, like we just said before, like just having enough training to like just be able to practice using your voice,
right?
And and not just with like live action acting, but also be able to learn how to act with your voice. And it's like you said, Jarron, like a few podcasts ago, that the Japanese are able to portray crying with just their voice alone.
Right.
Like you can
crazy.
feel them. You can feel the actor crying with just listening to their voice. When listening to that.
And I don't know if you've ever watched an anime. I guess Clannad's a good example because it has an English dub. I mean, it's not great, but
no, it's not.
Listening to anyone in English cry in a Japanese anime it immediately just takes me out of the whole scene, because like, it just doesn't sound good. I don't know why. It's like,
is it like stiff?
It feels stiff. Like, again, we use the whole acting versus voice acting kind of thing, but like, you watch movies where it's emotional, people are crying, you can kind of feel that.
I mean, you can see it too.
You can see it, right? Yeah. But I mean, even if you close your eyes, like, it's there,
right?
But like, for whatever reason, they just don't capture the same kind of feeling in anime
with just the voice.
Because like, I could watch there's a specific scene that I'm thinking of, not from Clannad, but from that one anime where it was this club of kids or high schoolers that all had powers.
Is that? Oh,
the dark flame dude.
Yeah, the chicken one.
Yeah, that one. And there was a specific scene where this girl that was close to the main character
was the one with the braided hair.
Was it
the one when she blew up on him?
Yeah, when she blew up on him. Like there was such a like you could literally like you can almost like fucking feel the anger, frustration, and sadness in her voice as she just screamed and yelled, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember that scene.
I felt some stuff there. I'm like, oh my god, like this is the pinnacle right here. It was so good. Like I don't remember ever feeling that amount of emotion watching anything in English. Now again, maybe that's just because I watch too much anime and I don't watch enough American cinema, but like that was like award winning right there. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like you'd be hard pressed to find that in any other like animated or any other animated show in another language.
True. I mean, I'm trying to like figure out some examples of like, like having English voice acting, or like somehow that's close to that kind of emotion. Like even with like American shows.
Well, I mean, obviously there's like, you know, again, those movies that are dramas or TV shows that are dramas.
I mean, the live action
someone's gonna cry.
I'm talking about like animated.
Oh,
like because I mean, like you said, with something that's animated, the voice acting really it matters when it comes to conveying emotion.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the Mulan 2 example that I gave earlier, because not only was it a facial thing, but it was also a vocal thing. Like you heard her shout Shin's name out in like that kind of blood curdling scream, or maybe I did. I can't remember, but I just remember hearing like I'm pretty sure I heard Mulan yell his name as he fell, and I'm like, yo, like I'm here right now. I feel this scene right now.
How about Simba? When he was trying to get his dad back up.
All right, that's a good
example of like
example too, right?
like the like you like really like using your voice.
Right.
And that's I kind of wish they would train people just as hard as that to convey emotion, and I mean frankly in any kind of animated medium. And I mean anime would be a complete benefit to them as well.
Oh yeah.
Cuz like if I could feel that kind of same emotion, that same kind of like energy from like Simba trying to get his dad back up, and like something like Clannad, because I mean it can be done. Obviously, it can be done in English.
It can be done because we've seen it.
We've seen it. We've seen it in English. So it's like you said. It's based on the training at that point. It's got to be like, you know, I wouldn't say hard pressed, but it just has to be rehearsed and really like heartfelt, I guess, in a way.
Well, and I also don't want to like knock any voice actors because I know it's fucking hard to do. Like,
oh yeah.
Like this is just coming from two people that just absorb the media. Like I know how much time they have to put in, and like, but it's just at the same time it's like I don't know what kind of training you have to do to like emulate distress.
Right, and just by voice. So.
Just by voice, purely, because it's like it's such a raw, like literally raw emotion. Distress is just like if anything, I guess some actors would be like cautioned not to do it because oftentimes that's like vocal damaging to scream or shout like that.
That's true.
So they probably be cautioned away from it. But I mean, I don't know. Like if you can push yourself to that point. Like you can feel it, like for example in the anime that we were talking about, or a good English example is in Dragon Ball Z, when anytime they do their charge yells.
Oh yeah.
Specifically when Goku first went Super Saiyan 3, because from what I heard, I don't know if this is true, but apparently the voice actor had to go to the hospital after that scene.
Oh god.
Because he yelled too hard that it fucked up his throat.
Oh god.
So,
I mean, it sounds about right.
It sounds about right, because if I remember that scene correctly, like, it was fucking, like, it was a long scream, it's classic, those classic 5-episode power-ups, and it was just him just, like
going up an octave every 10 minutes.
Exactly.
And he was just holding it.
Right, and I could not imagine the kind of dedication you have to put yourself through to do that. And obviously, he put himself in his career in danger to get there.
Essentially.
And I don't want to say anyone has to do that to get to that, to force that kind of emotion. But I don't see any other way to emulate that without.
I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe
forcing yourself.
Maybe it's based on like the individual's dedication. Like maybe again, it's all subjective.
Yeah.
In the end, it's all subjective, but it also comes down to the actual person behind the mic.
Right.
When it comes to that down. And as we all know, there is bad Japanese voice acting as well, and it really just depends on who's behind the mic and if they're able to if they're able to do the best they can behind the mic and convey their lines. That's the ultimatum in all this. So. And I mean, the only thing I can hope for is that it just improves over time.
Right.
It has improved over time, obviously, and I do appreciate and I do enjoy that. I enjoy seeing the progress and all that. So it's great, and I just hope. I mean, yeah, I can only hope for just like residual improvement. Just as it goes down the line.
I feel like it's gonna keep improving because
as a medium as a whole, there's like.
Well,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, because as time goes on, as anime becomes more popular and becomes more, I don't know if I want to say westernized, but becomes more prevalent here in the West, our English voice actors have to start competing with the Japanese ones.
That's true. They have to step up.
They have to step up to meet their same level of like vocal power, if anything. Like
they'll probably never get to that point, but they're gonna be pretty damn close.
I don't want to say they wouldn't get to that point because there's a peak.
That's true for both.
You can only be as human as humans are. Like once you can emulate raw anger, raw distress or sadness or happiness. That's it. There it is. Like you can't. There's no going. God forbid you go past that.
Who the hell do you think I am?
Exactly.
Oh, Giga.
Well, that's an unfortunate bad example of the English versus the Japanese, where the Japanese was up here and the English was way the fuck down here.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
No, fuck you. No, there isn't a fucking God would have to come down here and kick me in the fucking balls to convince me that the English was anywhere near as good as the Japanese.
I'm not trying to convince you. I do prefer the Japanese, but the English wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't bad. It had a right amount for what it had to do as English.
I don't know.
That's just me though, Jarron.
I don't think it did well enough. It probably would have been good for any other anime, but not Gurren Lagann.
Not Gurren Lagann? I think it's a bit of a bias at this point.
Nah, I don't think so.
No?
I think it was just bad. They could have done better.
They could have. I mean, there's always room for improvement, yes, but it did a good job. It did a good job for what it presented
It would
as.
have been good for any other anime.
I like the casting they chose for all the characters, especially with Kamina, since as the very vocal character as he may be.
I don't know.
You need someone with just as much energy.
But see, even then, that one sounded too preppy. The English one sounded too preppy.
Was it?
To me, when I watched the first episode in English and the English Giga Jailbreaker, but like
I mean, I can agree with you when it comes to the high energy scenes. Yeah. Those were lacking.
But that was fucking half the anime.
That's true. There was a lot of high energy moments.
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, half of it was Giga drills and the other half was melodrama.
Yeah, but like it's just I'm just saying, Kamina sounded too preppy in English.
What do you?
He's supposed to sound like
manly?
Like.
Well, what do you think would have? Okay, so what do you think would have made the English dub version of Gurren Lagann be better?
One, they didn't just the Japanese, when they pronounce English and the way we pronounce English is different.
Right.
They emphasize different vowels and consonants and stuff, whereas we do it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Where they would say, they would say Giga, they would roll the R, Doril, and then Breaka. It's because for whatever reason K ends in the and it's the that gives it the power. You
also
know?
because they can't say the ER part of breaker, can they? Like it's like that's not like that's not how they speak. Just doesn't the language doesn't normally have them say like words with ER at the end.
Well, here's the thing. The thing is though, while it's called the Giga Drill Breaker, and that's just what the name of the move is, the Japanese just say break. In the English version, they don't say the ER. They just say break.
Oh yeah, they do.
See, maybe if they added the ER, it'd be a little bit better. But then, you know, I mean, I guess you could push that, but you can't just end it. It got cut short. It didn't feel good. And then again, my other problem was kind of sounded too preppy.
All right, then let's just have Goku like yell in the background every time.
Get Goku. If you got the voice actor for fucking Goku is Kamina, but in a more like a less of a kind of aloof, but more.
Or just have him during the yelling scenes.
Just exactly.
Giga! It'll just charge up.
Fucking, I would have watched it if fucking the Giga Drill Break was 5 episodes. I would have been happy.
That'd be one big ass drill, like bigger than the universe and bigger than what it ended up to be.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's so weird to me that yes, they do go through more training, but there's just such a gap. Like I may again. What the fuck do I know? But like it just sounds like a gap.
Yeah, exactly. We only go by what we hear.
Right.
You know. And even as you know, quote unquote biased as we can be, there's still we still recognize quality.
Right. And like again, like it's pointed out in the English stuff. Even like another here's a good example. I was just thinking about it. Full Metal Alchemist. The English dub for that is fucking brilliant.
Wait, which one? Brotherhood or the original?
Both. It's the same voice actors, I believe.
Okay.
It's like Vic Mignogna. Mm-hmm. He is such a fucking good voice actor. He has probably the best range I've ever heard in an English voice actor.
Like, I mean, I haven't really heard anything else from him besides.
There's Full Metal Alchemist. I know he played a character in the game that I really like. He played, what's his face from Fruits Baskets, the blonde one, the main guy.
I don't remember, but I know who you're talking about. I can see him in the head.
He's done a lot of good shit.
Okay.
He's a really good voice actor. Unfortunately, I don't know too many names of like English voice actors, but I've heard of a lot of his work, and it's just so fucking good. Like he could compete with the fucking Japanese because he has such a good range. Like anytime I was watching, I mean, people have their biases with Brotherhood and the regular one. I didn't watch Brotherhood. I haven't watched it yet. I do plan on it at some point.
Right.
That is a commitment because that's like what, like 100 and some episodes.
Something like that. It's quite extensive.
Quite extensive. So I watched the majority of the first Full Metal Alchemist. And that whole time, like, you just feel, you always felt, Ed's range of emotion. And I loved that. Like, when he was upset, angry, happy, annoyed, any of that. Vic Mignogna just fucking sailed it straight through.
It was going through every range.
Exactly. He's just so fucking good. But then you see other voice actors, it just doesn't, it never really just matches it.
It never gets enough. It's never enough. Is that what you're trying to say? Like it's never like it's like I won't say pushing it, but like there's still one more step they can go.
Right. There's still like they can always push themselves further. And I want to say again, Vic Mignogna, whoever voices, you know, like some of the staff of Dragon Ball Z, actually a lot of the people from Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, like it's so weird how well, like, I mean, again, they're just screaming, but it's well integrated.
It's well integrated in the characters.
Right. But see, I feel like screaming is one of those weird things. Like, if you don't know how to act, it won't sound right.
Right.
For example, with Gurren Lagann, like, you say that he sounded fine normally, but like in the moment where he had to shout, it just didn't feel genuine.
Like there had to be like the moment where there's energy that required, it wasn't enough. Huh?
Right, it wasn't enough. And I mean, I feel like there's a lot of voice actors that just don't get there. Even in Japanese sometimes, where you feel like there could be more energy, where it just doesn't reach there. But it's just like, I mean, I guess you can't compare everything to fucking Gurren Lagann.
That's true. That's true. Or Kill la Kill then.
Or Kill la Kill, because Kill la Kill did it well too. That's another thing. It's like, it's just one thing to hear a guy doing it, but you almost expect shouting and shit from men. But then when a girl does it, it's either fucking ear piercing or not good.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but
an example. Oh, go on.
The good example is the one trigger anime that we were talking about just now, the one with the powers. Oh yeah, her scene was
fucking
was a good example of that, like high emotions and just a bunch of like, it's really like literally just, like mostly just a mix of emotions of like frustration, anger, and just being upset.
Right. You know? Like I literally can't remember any other scene from any other medium that fucking punched me in the heart that well as that scene. Like, not in a necessarily sad way, but in a holy shit, I feel her emotions right now. Like I'm empathizing real hard right now. Mm-hmm. Whereas maybe Trigger should just fucking hire casting for every anime. But again, in Kill la Kill with like, you know, Ryoko and Satsuki, when they shout each other's names, like you get fucking pumped. Ryoko Mato, you know?
Yeah, and like Satsuki.
Like it feels so good. Like I don't know why, but then you watch an anime like, I don't know if you ever watched Yuki Yuna as a Hero.
No, I've been meaning to see that.
It's pretty good. But they do a lot of shouting, but it's the moe-ized screaming. I don't want to say moe-ized. It's a very serious anime, but like it's hard to mix the moe voice, you know, the cute, high-pitched, right, kind of little girlish voice, and then make them scream a lot in battle, because it just,
if it's not like
really high and it kind of hurts.
Yeah, and if they're not being tortured, like if it's not like Madoka Magica,
right, right. So I don't know the complexities of voice training and shit like that, but I mean, obviously anyone would like to get to a certain point, and I'm sure they can with enough, you know, dedication and training. Anyone could do it. Right. Maybe not anyone, but like, well, if you're dedicated enough, you can get somewhere. Yeah. Maybe you might not be the best, but you can fucking get somewhere. Those that are currently in the business, I honestly feel like, I mean, again, I don't want them to risk their voices and their careers to push the envelope, but like, I feel like there's another level they can get to. You know, always improving and stuff like that.
Exactly. And the anime is actually called When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. That's the...
There we go. That's English.
Or like, if you want me to say the Japanese title,
no, we're good.
I was just about to get into it too.
Go for it.
It's Inu Battle wa Nichijo Kei no Nakade.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm kind of curious about one thing.
What, who her voice actor was?
Not just who her voice actor was, but who else she's voiced.
I'm actually kind of curious about that.
Because I have a weird assumption at the moment.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Trigger also made an anime called Trigger Chan.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's just a female representation of the.
Is it a hodgepodge of all their stuff?
No, that was what you call it.
Inferno Cop?
No.
Oh no, Space
Patrol Luluco.
There you go, yeah.
That was a hodgepodge, or the homage to all their shit. This one I think was just.
That's why. Okay, no wonder she does. No wonder she sounds so familiar. She played Kokoro.
Oh, never mind. This was a. So the 5th anniversary of Trigger has been marked with a Space Patrol Luluco marathon on NND that ended with a special animated sequence featuring Trigger Chan and her buddies, Muzzle and Spring.
So it was like an OVA kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no wonder. Okay, so
Luluco's in it.
well,
Never mind.
but John, I was wondering why she sounds so familiar. She played Kokoro.
In
The only Kokoro-chan that matters at the past couple of months.
oh. Oh.
Are you having mixed emotions right now, Jarron?
I'm conflicted now. Well, okay, you can't hate the voice actors behind them.
Exactly.
You hate the character.
You hate the character, cause like when Kokoro was having her emotional spotlight, why does this like I was like, why does this seem so familiar?
She did have a good range. I'll give her that. Man, it's probably because she was her.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why does she have to be so fucking good to play a shitty person?
No, not only that, but she even played the same role, like same kind of character.
Like it's literally the
it's the wifey it's the wifey
chan, right?
Yeah, or waifu. It's like the like
literally
base waifu. It's like not basic, but like it's standard waifu, like caring, what is it? Doting, braided hair around the shoulder, and then just like
the maternal.
Yeah, very maternal. Yeah, there you go. Very maternal.
Yeah.
Waifu, my maternal waifu.
Mm-hmm. But like, damn it.
I'm sorry, Jarron. If it makes you feel better, she played Goshen Knight.
What?
Land of Illustrious.
Oh. That needs to have a season 2 already.
It took him like a few years to get this one season, so I give him like, if they want to do a season 2, I give them another 3 or 4 years at most.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they want to maintain that quality. Hatoko. Her name was Hatoko in that series, the Battle one.
Oh, okay, right. Hatoko.
She also played Yotsugi from Kyomi no Monogatari.
Who'd she play?
Yotsugi Ononoki Yotsugi. Ononoki?
Huh. Curious. She played a kudere.
I mean, she's got the range for that. I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, if Kokoro herself was like less aloof,
Well, maybe not kudere, but like
it's quite. I mean, it's a bit kudere-ish.
I mean, it is, but it's like literally, it's emotionless. Emotionless. Like kuderes at least have a little bit of emotion. There was nothing. There was no emotion. It was just.
I can contest that since my favorite voice actress does a lot of her favorite. One of my favorite roles for her are the kudere types.
Okay. Then you'd love her because that's all she is, minus the cool.
That's because the reason why I like the kudere type is because like when there are moments of emotion, that's because it's a genuine moment for them to have emotion.
You're right.
Like it's they're reacting genuinely to that moment because they've never felt anything else besides that specific time in their life.
Right. But like,
otherwise,
this character just didn't have emotion.
Yeah.
Like, even when shit was going down, it was the same tone.
Oh, I didn't know this. She also played Miyuki Shiba from that Magical High School one.
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, you didn't watch that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it was either that or Adelana Zero that I heard got a really bad rep.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved Adelana Zero.
Well, like I said, it was either that one that you just showed me or the one or Adelana Zero, and I guess it's that one.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see any of them being any bad rep.
I don't know.
One was an original. One was a lot based on the light novel.
It was the whole sister loving your sister thing.
Okay, so that's the magical one.
Okay,
the magical one had the brother sister thing going on.
I think that was around the time that I just finished with Orimo, and I was like, no more.
You were just like, no more incest.
No more.
I mean, are they related? Yeah, they're related. Okay. Okay, but you have to understand the context, Jarron, of the story, and don't give me that look. There are certain circumstances which lead up to the relationship and as to why they're so close.
That's what I heard.
Hey, incest with a wincest.
Right. You're fucking wrong.
No.
All right, look. Here's how I feel about incest. If you're doing the whole adopted thing, sure. You know, your adopted sister, whatever. You don't share the blood relationship. Maybe you felt a little differently than sisterly love when you first met her. Sure, fine, whatever.
All right,
cool.
That's Arrow Manga Sensei right there.
Or or it's the whole thing where you've never met each other. Now you're brother and sister. Or you've always been like brother and sister, but you've never met each other.
So like long lost.
Long lost.
Okay.
And you meet each other. Some people can immediately develop the sisterly love. Other times,
you mean Please
I'm
Twins?
a hormonal teenage boy, and I just see this fucking.
Are you referring to Please Twins?
They're not long lost. They're like.
Well, it was sort of long lost.
Oh, Please Twins. Yeah. You're right. I was thinking of Kiss Exist.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's that kind of deal. Where it's like.
How about Cousins?
Because it's legal. Like
is it legal?
It's third cousin, I believe. It's legal.
Third. I mean, anywhere is like third, honestly. But
yeah,
it's still weird.
It is still weird because you're still blood related, but it's like distant enough to be like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, because like it's like imagine this. It's kind of like if your kid married Justin's kid.
Right.
That's how weird it'd be.
Right.
Justin being Jarron's cousin.
I know, yeah.
It's for the listeners.
Right. Or no, it would be like. So, no, like I said, third cousin. So it'd be like. So it'd be
your kid's kid. If
my cousin Justin, who is my cousin through my mother's side.
Okay.
His mother's cousin through her father's side married my kid, or her cousin's daughter married my son.
Okay, so it'd be like your aunt's cousin.
My aunt's cousin, yes.
Your aunt's cousin's kid.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's where the third part comes from.
I see.
Second cousin, or is that second cousin? First cousin's that you're directly aunt's child.
Is it generational for like the numbers? Like his first cousin's like.
No, it's how distant they are.
Oh, okay.
Distant cousins like your fifth, sixth, seventh cousin.
Right.
Depending on like who was married.
Like the marriage lineup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because to be honest, by that time they're not blood related anymore.
Yeah.
Your first cousin's blood related because you share a grandparent.
Yeah, you share a grandparent.
Actually, by your second cousin, I think. No. Yeah.
Because like your parent would be the sibling of another. Your parent would have another sibling. You would like you and your cousins are related because both your parents are somehow are siblings.
Right.
That'd be like your first. That's your first cousin.
That's your first cousin. So your second cousin is the.
It would be your kid. Your kid and your cousin's kid. That's second cousins, right? Like if you and Justin had kids, those two would be second cousins.
Right, because we're not brothers, we're cousins, so that would make them second. So I guess it goes both down and to the side.
Okay, so both. So
it's both by marriage and by generation.
Okay,
because their kids, assuming they didn't get together, would be even further apart. Still, blood related. The distance. I was thinking of in-laws.
Okay.
That one, the generation one's the actual cousin one.
Okay, like the numbered.
Yeah.
The generational first, third.
Yeah,
second.
That's generational one.
I'm okay.
In-laws. In-laws is kind of okay too, because that's another. Okay, now that just sounds weird saying it right off. It's weird to do anything with any member of your
Are we
family.
endorsing this, Jarron?
No, we're not endorsing this. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna watch it, it's okay in anime because anime is weird in the first place.
And it's not real.
And it's not real, exactly. So the situations are kind of like fantastical, I guess. So I can plausibly see like a brother-in-law or sister-in-law falling in love because they're not related by blood. Maybe they're thrust together suddenly when both are at the height of their hormones. So it's like, things are gonna develop.
Like Kiss Exist.
Or if they grew up together, maybe they had like a childlike relationship with each other or childlike love with each other, and it just continued to grow.
Yeah, it just evolved over time.
Right. But it's still fucking weird.
Is there another one? No, I don't think there's any other. Well, I mean, there's. I'd be delving into hentai at this point.
Yes, you would. I know exactly what you're about to say. you're gonna mention Shotas, we're not going there. We're not fucking going there.
Oh, both Shota and Loli.
Oh yeah, but usually the lolly parts.
Obviously, he's already been booted off
because of the current double standard in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Lolly is way more worse when you deal with fucking older
men
than
is it older women
older women.
Even though it's just as creepy.
It's just as creepy. It's just because of the double standard. You're gonna take aim at one first.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. Shota. The Shota and Loli one is also part of that incest.
It is, but that's the worst part of it. You can do brother and sister, and it's weird enough without it being like, you know.
I don't know. That's not how you felt with Orimo.
Yes, it was.
No, you were just like completely off.
Well, it's because I don't like it. I'm just saying in general.
That's true, yeah.
I'm just saying in general.
Well, how about the Papa one? They were literally not blood related at all.
Look.
There was no blood relation. It was all adopted. It's like you said.
No. Don't try to spin this some way. That one was just a very unfortunate piece of shit. That's what it was. You fucking
The circumstances
you're riling me up right now. That's what you're doing.
The circumstances are just as appropriate.
Yeah, you're my fucking daughter-in-law, my adopted daughter-in-law because her parents fucking died.
Yes, technically they're like.
Wait, no, they were related in some way because.
No, he's her uncle. Well, he's her uncle because it was a marriage. That was the mom's kids, and that was his son. And then the two parents got married. Then they died, and then he became the man of the household.
He was the parent of his sisters-in-laws.
Stepsisters.
Stepsisters. He fucking adopted them as their parent or guardian, however you ever want to spin
uncle at that point.
Yeah, whatever. And that was their dynamic. And he had this fucking beautiful, gorgeous, maternal, weird ass, thick senpai that was fucking.
I'll admit, I was upset about that too.
That was fucking adorable in every fucking way, and she was just a fucking weirdo, and I loved it. She, at some point in time, she was, now I wouldn't say practically throwing herself at him because she, I guess, has her own way to showing her affection.
And she was a kudere, right? Just a bit.
She was kind of a kudere,
right.
but like a
Lufoy?
In a Lufoy, not the whole, I'm emotionless because.
Like just quiet in the corner.
She's more like, she just kind of approaches things deadpanly.
Right.
Like she does all this zany bullshit. Like where I think there was one where she was like dressed up in a shrine maiden outfit, tied up in front of their club room, while the other club member was like hitting her with paper, and she was just shouting out deadpanly, "Help me, blah blah blah."
She's weird.
She's weird. is the long and short of it. But it was fucking great because she was interesting. Because it was like she did a bunch of shit. But no, fucker's gonna be like, well, I like her a lot, but I think I'm developing feelings for my fucking freshly in a high school daughter. Stepdaughter. Fuck you. Stepdaughter. Stepsister.
Yes.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Even though the circumstances are just as appropriate?
No, the circumstances aren't appropriate.
Yeah, they are.
Different.
No, it's not.
No, it's different. See, siblings is one thing because you're the same age. You have the same emotional, like, fucking
It's legal
bullshit.
It's legal to marry in high school.
Fuck you.
The legal age of marriage is 16.
Kiss my ass. It's okay in anime, not in real life, because in real life that's when it gets really, no. In anime, it's okay because it's not real, and you're allowed to, again, push the boundary a little bit or a lot of it, whatever.
Right.
And brother sister thing is fine because you're in the same emotional like stage of your life. That's fine.
Like they're like growing up together.
Right, growing up together, and you have the brother sister thing can be broken depending on when you met and how your relationship was when you grew up.
Right.
When you act as someone's fucking parent, it's different. It becomes weirder because you become the parent based on your own belief that you have a higher mental stability to take care of people that don't have this mental stability. That's when it becomes fucking weird. Okay?
That's why he waited until she was older.
It's still fucking wrong, because not only did you fucking you married your daughter, legally your daughter. Legally, I might add, because he legally adopted them.
As a guardian.
Whatever.
He's a guardian.
It doesn't matter. You fucking abandoned fucking Best Chan.
Is that what's really riling you up?
That's what's really bothering me.
It's Best Chan.
It's Best Chan. Best girl. You went after the fucking, you had prime meat and you went after the fucking short ribs, you piece of shit.
This is the I Love Amelia thing all over again.
It is. Well, yes, because fucking.
I'm sorry, Jarron. Are you riled up right now?
Yes.
See, the messed up part is that that's the true ending for what the writer was going for that novel.
Yeah, you can kiss my ass.
The same thing with Orimo.
He even had a spin-off to the anime where the best girl was fucking like over their house a lot of the time, fucking cooking and doing weird shit there.
Yeah. And
bonding with the kids. It was literally more to focus on her and his relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's by the same. I don't think it's by the same writer though. That's the thing.
Yeah, we need that guy. We need that guy back. Fuck this guy.
Get that guy to anime.
Fuck him. Fuck the Orimo creator. They can just go fuck off. That's what they can do.
I mean, they already have restraining orders from their actual sisters.
Yeah, I know. It's for a reason, because you're fucking weird. You're a fucking weirdo. Stop.
Where does this
pen down? You don't need it anymore.
Where does this energy come from? Well, like it's a deep. I mean, it's like what most creatives are like. They portray their inner emotions into their art.
And they can suck my ass.
Again,
inner emotions and all.
Legal age is 16 in Japan.
Legal parent is fucking weird.
It's a guardian, not a parent. I mean, even the parents thought it was okay.
They're dead. What do they matter?
They
were portrayed. Their spirits were portrayed as the savior.
They gave them their blessing.
No, they didn't.
From the afterlife.
Didn't. No, they damn well didn't.
There's a reason. This is why Japan's population is decreasing.
It's because they had a bunch of bullshit going on. People say, "Yeah, Japan's just a normal fucking country." The fuck, it's not. Where does that come from? That doesn't just show up out of nowhere. Was it the bombs? Is that what spawned this? Is this what happened?
This is why we stop nuking. You start spawning weird shit.
From the nuclear waste, it just comes out. You get 2Dism that took over the world.
Exactly. No, remember what you posted one time on Facebook?
We came up with that on the podcast, didn't we?
Was it? Oh yeah.
What was it? It was what was it? First the opioids, then the bombing.
The opioids. The nukes were the second season of the opioid war. Something like that. Something like that, and that spawned an anime.
Spawned.
That spawned Miyamoto.
Well, I don't. Let me find my zen.
Incest with a Wincest, Jarron.
No,
how about Kiss Exes then?
Kiss Exes was fucking hard to get through. Okay.
Was it?
I didn't. I finished the anime. No, did I?
I mean,
there were 2 seasons, wasn't there?
There's one season and there's like a second OVA.
It was
stuff.
Longer. It was like not longer than that regular season, but it was like.
It was short. No, it was shorter.
12 or 8 episodes.
No, they only have 6. They stopped at the Peaches episode.
Oh right, I forgot. Was that the last episode of regular anime?
No, that was the last episode of their OVAs.
Oh.
Because remember, there's the normal TV series and then there's their OVA series, which is a little bit more over the top.
Kiss Exes pushed a lot of fucking.
It's still technically anime. It's not even technically in the hentai realm.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, there are anime that push further.
Indeed.
Than Kiss Exes does, but that was.
It danced around the subject a lot.
Danced around it. They fucking practically threw themselves in, like. Especially that Peaches,
chocolate.
The Peaches episode fucking fucked me up. Like. There's no way to be ready for that. There's just no way for it to be ready.
Consent. There was. No, I'm not about to defend the Peaches episode. For those of you that know what we're talking about, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Fucking degenerates. That was okay. It's okay. Jarron and I watched it too. We're all relatively in the same boat.
Except I'm scarred and your hands in your pants.
Exactly. Some of you guys don't belong in this boat. Normally, we were forced on this boat. Some of you chose to be on this boat.
Exactly. But fucking, I don't know. It's just that's another thing. Like,
do you not like the Kiss Like Sis route?
No, that's another thing. Again, bringing it back to fucking everything. Why are they so good at fucking moaning? Like, come on. Why do you have to be good at that? Why do you have to be good at those sounds? Like, I get that it's a normal thing, physical thing.
Emotion.
Like, yeah.
Pleasure.
Regular pleasure is an emotion. I get it. But, like,
why
is so much better than fucking...
like, any... I mean, God forbid I ever find a Chinese hentai. But... No, you're right, John. You're right. They're, like, the Japanese are quite... experienced.
Too experienced.
When it comes to
Too good at it.
When it comes to their exquisite moaning and reactions, I guess.
I don't understand how you sit in that fucking booth and you fucking do that. Like,
with a straight
how
face.
Do you keep that straight face. I mean, it gets training, but like.
Plus, the director and like behind the glass, like. Just listening, arms crossed, and like,
like no,
like stop, nope, do it again. You're off tone a little bit. Give me more of a, and then less of a. Just giving direction and fucking voice acting tips in the middle of all of it.
I couldn't fucking do it,
especially since they're watching the raw thing right in front of them, match the lip match and everything.
I mean, okay, you know. Person that's been doing it for 5 years is gonna be like whatever.
Right.
Person just starting first gig, you know, I'm gonna be a voice actor. I went to voice training school. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna do cool. Fucking
hentai.
Straight up tentacle porn hentai. Like, okay.
It's like, imagine yourself being wrapped around with tentacles.
Tentacles are like big. They're violating you. Your fucking stomach's getting inflated by a bunch of semen. Pretend like that's happening and voice it. Like,
yeah, every hole is being filled. Can you imagine that? You know, do you want a cookie to help you with the stuff with the stuffing motion? You know, like really project. You know,
like give it to me raw.
Give it to me.
Like
Yelmatic.
Like I don't know how you get like that mindset. Like, at what point in time does that wall come down? Like, that's a pretty thick wall to fucking get through.
It really, again, that's part of the training.
That's
extensive training.
Maybe they go through that during in voice acting school to.
It's got. I mean, what is it? Hentai, both in the mediums of voice acting and artistically, they're hard to do.
Yeah.
Because of, you know, there's obvious quality that has to be recognized.
Right.
In that part of the entertainment industry for this.
How do you keep a straight face? How? I mean, I guess the same way porn stars keep a straight face.
Well, yeah, but it's not good. It's never good acting.
True, but I mean, like I don't know if you've ever seen blooper reels for porn.
No.
Are
they hilarious?
They're fucking. It's like it's exactly what you think being a first time porn actor would be like.
Okay.
Like you just you know, sucking and fucking, and then you know, you make a slip up, you fall off or something. Everyone's just fucking giggling and laughing like it's fucking a normal fucking thing. You're like, I'm done. Like, I don't know. What do you want? How do you get back to where you were?
How do you get it back up?
Like, I mean, they use pills and shit. Like,
yeah.
Drugs are allowed to be used in that, like, not like
controlled
substances that keep you going are allowed in that medium, as I found out, which is
okay.
Interesting thing. Because, like, you think people like, oh, yeah, he's fucking Rocket Man Sam. He fucking lasts 6 hours doing whatever. And he doesn't come until the 6th hour. Like, no,
he's hopped up.
He's hopped up to, oh, fucking, there's techniques to keep yourself from going.
Exactly. No, but can you imagine, like, a Hollywood production by legendary porn?
I don't.
Like, really good. Like, if you had the kind of like dedication you get from like Japanese hentai voice actors, transcribe it into like Hollywood actors, and like convoluted story, but still makes some weird sense to a point where it's still porn.
But like, how would you you wouldn't be jerking off at that point. You'd just be watching a movie.
Exactly. It's Otomidori. I'm just saying. It's just like Otomidori. You got an investive story and sex scenes, and it's still porn.
But like
I'd watch.
But see, there's a difference. The reason why porn's porn is because the sex is the point. You can't make a Hollywood production of porn and make porn the point. You start focusing on everything else.
See, Jarron, in art, you have to make sacrifices.
You take your hands away from your glasses. Don't do that. Fucking
art has to push the boundaries, Jarron.
Shine me.
It pushes the boundaries. You have to reach for the stars and say to the world, "Who the hell do you think I am?" I'd watch it. I'd watch like a Christopher Nolan directed pornography film.
I mean, again, it would be like
Nolan. If you're if you're listening to me, Christopher Nolan, I am challenging you to make the greatest cinematic porn movie ever. You're a directing genius, and J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams, you're
fucking. Tim Burton is while you're at it.
Tim Burton, shit. What's his face, Mr. Explodey Face?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Lord, he doesn't need to be in.
Steven Spielberg. I'm challenging all of Hollywood to make one of the best cinematic pornographic films of the century.
It would literally have to be at least like 60% porn. And like 40% movie.
Hey, they're artists. They can do anything they want.
But like, I don't know if I want to see Hollywood quality sex. Like that would be weird. Cause like
with dicks out and everything.
Like you've seen like the sex scenes in good movies where they're just like just kind of bumping and grinding a little awkwardly. But like when if it was good, like.
How would you react to that?
I don't know. Like, am I supposed to jerk off? Am I supposed to be amused? Like, what is happening? Like,
I mean, I was just gonna go straight to video. It's never gonna be in cinema, but it'll go straight to video.
Yeah.
But I would love to see what kind of creative process these big time people go through and what they would produce in the end.
I would love to watch it. It's just
like
I couldn't imagine it.
Like hentai quality, John. Like imagine if fucking what's the name of it again? It's Emergence was a live action.
No. No. That stays where it is.
As a 2D.
We will never allow it to break free from where it is. It is a caged monster that needs to remain where it is.
No, it is Pandora's box that needs to be opened.
No,
it's like what Jeff Goldblum once said: "Life finds a way, Jarron.
Apparently it doesn't, because people fucking die.
Welcome to Jurassic Park, Jarron. In this case, welcome to Hentai Park.
No.
Make Emergence into a live-action film, and make it the most cinematic, like beautifully cinematic thing ever, to the point where it's compared to the Christopher Nolan.
Do you know how much fucking rapes in that movie or that fucking manga? Like literally, there's probably one consensual scene, and that was barely consensual. That was the first one.
Art pushes the boundaries, Jarron. Art must push the boundaries to not conform to society.
Thanks for listening to us on the Wanna Be Boo podcast. Bring your host here, the fucking degenerate over there, and me, Jarron. Thanks for listening.
Art must push the boundaries, Jarron, in order to evolve.
We're done for this episode.
No, we're not. I'm challenging all of Hollywood. Any indie filmmaker out there, make a cinematic beauty, like a cinematic beauty of pornography, to the point where it's comparable to the artistic direction of Christopher Nolan himself.
I don't know if that's possible.
Then you have to make it possible.
But you can do everything around the actual sex part, like as well as you.
Then go
want.
in.
But like, how do you fucking make two humans look even better than they do having sex than they do in regular
Life finds
porn?
a way. Johnny Sins finds a way. Johnny Sins will find a way, Jarron.
Like, I'm just saying, it already looks good. Like fucking.
Just imagine Alexis Texas on the big screen, like.
She can't. She's in jail.
Wait, is she?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. For a side note, Alexis Texas is in jail because or no, Stormy Daniels is not. Alexis Texas,
okay. I was supposed to say. I just saw Alexis Texas like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
At Exotica.
I was wrong. Stormy Daniels, the one that apparently had the affair with Trump, is in jail because she went to Ohio, performed in a strip club. Apparently, Ohio law says strippers cannot touch or be touched by the audience. To or by the audience.
And so she was.
And she didn't know that part, nor is it very enforced by anyone else. And she got physical with a couple female cops that were there, and they arrested her.
Okay.
Which is linked to, is it, no, they don't really enforce it there, blah, blah, blah. Is it, political because Trump, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
That's that whole situation. And go look into it if you want.
Yeah. But Jarron, art has to be pushed and cannot be conformed by boundaries of normal society.
You're right, but like there's only so much you can do in real life to make it like they've tried. I've seen fucking live action tentacle porn. It's weird. It's so fucking weird.
That's because they're using like 2009 CGI, Jarron.
It's not CGI.
It's not?
They made animatronics.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Like they have the animatronics that generally just like that they kind of just sit in.
Like we talking like Jurassic Park, like quality here. Like OG Jurassic Park.
Like it
does it look good? How about that?
It looks good for what it's supposed to be. Like,
okay.
I mean, obviously they can't get as much motion to say as real tentacles would actually be.
Right.
But like in general, this is how a general scene would kind of look like. You have your girl. She's usually sitting in the bed in a bed of like tentacles where the whole thing is. I think it's animatronic, or maybe there's just a bunch of fucking people huddled in that bitch just moving shit. But what I think is animatronics, they're just kind of like little tentacles just kind of grasp it kind of at random in places, and then likely someone off screen has like a fucking like tentacle dildo just fucking going.
All right.
Or a machine or whatever.
I know I can make that better. Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. Get him in that shit. CGI it and there.
I mean, now there is another thing.
He raped that one officer. I'm just saying.
You're right. It could be good, but they would need the Hollywood bucks to make it happen.
John, porn is an industry where people will invest money in.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm just saying, if porn had more money, they could do cool CGI shit like that. But as of right now, they're stuck with the fucking foam, the dildo stick.
You know what?
Tentacle stick.
You know what? I'm gonna make it my life mission now. When I become a millionaire,
you're gonna lose all your fucking money.
I will make it my life mission to fund a ambitious studio or an ambitious director that is willing to create a beautiful cinematic porn movie. I'm gonna be the what's his face? I did not hit her. No, I didn't. Oh, hi, Mark. That guy. I will be him of this venture. He was ambitious. His movie failed, but he became a legend. What's his name again?
I don't remember. It was something dumb.
I will be him, Jarron. I will make it my life's mission.
You don't want to be him, but you want to be as famous as him.
Yes, but I also
because if you were him, your shit's gonna fail.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be an awful, terrible movie that everyone's gonna make fun of.
And that's what would make it popular in the first place.
Right. So instead, be as well known, but succeed.
Exactly, and you'll be one of the first to view the first screening.
I mean, of course, if it's that good, if you can promise the quality, of course I'd fucking watch it. But like, I just don't see it happen without a lot of money, and unfortunately, as much as we like porn it doesn't have the funding that it needs to be.
Like a Warner Brothers film.
Like fucking holy shit, this is super well animated.
I mean, we get shit like Titans for some reason, and that's getting funded.
That's because people are dumb. Like, they're not putting their money into the things that matter, like porn.
Exactly. I
mean, granted, porn is largely pirated, and that's a problem. But that's another story.
That's a whole different aspect to that industry.
That's a whole difficult thing to talk about as someone that pirates it myself.
You can just get an official Pornhub account.
You could, but then you can't. I'm talking about the hentai.
Oh, yeah.
You can't really. I mean, you can go and buy it, but if you think anime is expensive,
yeah.
Hentai is a whole nother fucking beast.
That's a whole expense report right there.
exactly. Like, I couldn't even fathom it. Like, just fucking buying all the volumes of Bible Black would fucking bankrupt you.
But anyway, guys, we've been rambling and going on for about actually, we're almost 2 hours actually.
God damn.
Thanks. Let me start over. Thank you guys for downloading and listening to us as always every week. We try to give you the best and greatest podcast and material. As you last heard just now, we try to give you the best and only the best every week. Make sure to follow us on our social medias like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
And find us on any of our places that have RSS feeds like iTunes, Google Play, the Stitcher app, the new one.
The new one is Listen Notes.
Listen Notes. I'm missing one or two.
iHeartRadio.com.
I said iHeartRadio.
Stitcher, you said that.
Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes.
I think that's it. We have 5 main links. I mean, you can also find us on YouTube, obviously.
And of course on YouTube.
But I guess again, guys, if you got any questions, if you got any rants, comment to us down below. And I gotta start this again too, because like what do you want to ask the listeners, Jarron? Because I want to be more engaging with you guys.
All right, so give us an example of a good animated. It's not necessarily. It doesn't have to be anime, but like something that's well animated and well voice acted from a different language that's not Japanese or English.
Mm-hmm. And just share it to us.
Yeah.
And we'll check it out.
And also, I guess, give us the plot of your Hollywood style porno would be. I'm curious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm curious as well. Well, I need some ideas for scripts too. So
you're right.
We gotta get the ball rolling here. All right. We gotta start. We're going to revolutionize Hollywood, Jarron. Right. We will revolutionize the porn industry. The line will be blurred and it will mesh together like a Super Saiyan Gogeta porn fusion. But as always, guys, right. My name is Jomel Socorro.
My name is Jarron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.